So this is the Mason Trail that is under easement to the city of Fort Collins from CSU.
Ah, fabulous.
So we own the land, CSU, or the city owns the easement.
And I see we have some friends over here.
We do, yeah. Deer, we've had elk and moose this summer.
Oh, wow.
It's very bizarre, but it just speaks to the Spring Creek corridor and its access.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna turn right here. This is Spring Creek Trail. This is one of the Fort Collins original 3 trails in the city. And this one runs east-west across the entire community.
I love this trail too. When I was here for the Safe Routes Partnership Conference last fall in October, I was staying in an Airbnb not far from here, and so every morning I would ride my little Brompton over to the conference over here at the Hilton, and it made that trip just absolutely delightful. I would use that little access road that we just passed right there, the little dirt gravelly road there to the back of the Hilton.
Yeah, so this is all CSU property that allowed the trail to make the final connection east-west. It's still a gem. It sometimes feels a little constrained because it's set at 10 feet in spots.
Right.
But that's a good problem to have.
Right. We can work with that.
Yeah, we can work with that.
Approximately how many acres is under university ownership and control?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, it's a hard one to answer because we've got land all over the state. We're a land grant institution, so we've got ag research farms, we've got a campus up in the mountains. We're in the heart of Fort Collins, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So this bike corral up here on the left is where we're gonna pull over.
Yeah, there's the Themister Trail. Hey everyone, welcome to the Active Towns channel. My name is John Simmerman and I am in Fort Collins, Colorado once again. And I have a very special guest here with me today, Aaron. Aaron, why don't you take an opportunity to introduce yourself?
So Aaron Fodge, I work at Colorado State University. I'm the Director of Active Transportation and Fleet Services. I serve as the treasurer for the Association for Commuter Transportation. I'm an LCI. I've got TDM CP certification, and I'm trying to think what else that would be interesting.
My gosh, that's an awful lot of acronyms
probably
there.
Enough,
yeah, so LCI, so a league certified instructor, and TDM, Transportation Demand Management. That's great.
Right.
So
that's right.
What are we going to be looking at today, Aaron?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about permeability, right? In the context of a university-town-gown relationship. So permeability for us is the university a barrier, right? Are we a barrier in the community, and what can we do to make the campus permeable, not only for our students and employees, but can we make it permeable for the community, right? We don't want people to have to ride around the campus, right? Because then what are they saying? They're telling everybody that our campus has a big giant moat around it, right? That's not what we want. We want to access the campus, and so we're going to look at some infrastructure today that makes the campus more permeable. It's accessibility, but really with the lens of how do we get people to a destination that we all know? The destination is the university, right? How do we make it easier for everyone to get there?
Fantastic.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
I love it, I love it. And we're standing in front of a very special place too. Why don't you talk a little bit about where we're at?
Yeah, we are on the Spring Creek Trail, which again is one of the original 3 trails here in Fort Collins from their original master plan. We are at the Gardens on Spring Creek, which is a city facility, public community gardens. They also host concerts in this beautiful amphitheater that they have. And then we're at a bike corral that is in the north entrance to the gardens at Spring Creek and their concert venue.
I love it. This is fantastic.
So why are we here?
Yeah, why are we here?
Well, we're here because of permeability.
Fantastic.
Behind me is a brand new trail. We just opened it up. It's called the Femister Trail.
Okay.
The Femister Trail feeds right to an underpass that gets you into the south edge of Colorado State University. So why are we talking permeability? We're not on campus. Well, because this trail has literally thousands and thousands of employees and students that live somewhere along its 5-mile length.
Wow.
Why is that important?
Yeah.
Well, we can tell them, hey, if you ride your bike or you take your skateboard, you can use this trail, never touch an arterial,
Right.
and you can get right onto campus. So as long as you can get from your neighborhood home
Right.
to this trail, you've got a safe route right into campus,
Yeah.
much like you can see a couple of these students are doing right now.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the design components of this,
Yeah.
how it gives permeability, but I wanted to start here because without a collaboration with our city,
Right.
this isn't possible,
Yeah.
right? The city is the one that oversees the riparian area, which is the Spring Creek
Right.
that runs here. Spring Creek has flooded historically, and we now have a beautiful bridge that goes over that creek
Right.
that had to meet a no-rise scenario, which meant we couldn't put a bridge in that would affect floodwaters,
Got it.
right, in
Okay.
a way that might put other people at risk,
Right. Yeah.
So when we say no rise, the water couldn't rise more because this structure is here.
Got it.
So I thought maybe you might want to, your viewers might want to see what makes it no rise, and then we can walk the trail a little bit and then head on to campus.
I love it. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
All right, cool. And really, Aaron, to your point of what we were talking about just a moment ago, is that, having access to an active mobility network such as this, an all ages and abilities network, close to where you live, delivering you to downtown, delivering you to where you work, that's central to your goals from a TDM perspective, a transportation demand management perspective.
You have to understand your audience and the community they live in, right?
Yeah.
And if your community can't support you, it's...
Excuse me, sorry.
No, you're good. It's really difficult to look your employees in the eye and say, you know what? You can ride your bike here to CSU, right?
Yeah.
If I know I'm putting them in harm's way by doing that, it's not really realistic. A university like ours, like most universities, we're starving for parking, vehicular parking spaces.
Right.
We have to make a decision about how we use land.
Right.
And are we really going to build the whole campus over in parking, or are we going to try to shift travel behavior?
Right.
This is one way you do it. You make it permeable
Right.
by having trails, underpasses, city bikeways. As a campus, we have to embrace all of those items. If we don't,
Right.
we literally are putting a moat
Right.
around the campus, and we're telling the community, our host, right? We're telling them, stay away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for a community like ours, we want to be able to look our employees in the eye and say, look, you ride your bike, I can get you on almost the entire trip
Yeah.
on a trail, for example.
Yeah.
And like I said, we map all of our employees. We know where they live.
Right.
And so we advocated for this, right? We told the city, look, we need to do this. And, to our credit and to the city's credit, we found a way to collaborate and build this trail. So that first piece we were talking about was you've got a riparian area that comes through the community. We just saw the deer that were just here.
Yeah.
So this is a riparian corridor from the foothills all the way here into town, right? So the city wants to protect that.
Right.
That's a big cornerstone of the city of Fort Collins, right? We have natural areas. So they want to protect that. So we had to build this bridge in a way that didn't affect the flow of water or have it push water out farther.
Right.
But without this bridge, we couldn't do it.
Right.
Like, there's no access. Like, we can't make this connection to the campus, which is this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the bridge is a gem. It meets the city standard. The city defines what types of pedestrian bridges they'd like to have on their trails.
Right.
This is that standard, kind of this rusted metal look.
Yeah.
And then you can see they started vegetation, planted trees to match the riparian corridor.
Fantastic. Talk a little bit about funding for projects such as this. I'm sure
I'm glad you
funding
asked.
money's hard to come by. So,
Yeah.
how does this get funded?
Well, I'm really glad you asked because it's one that we're really proud of. This project started with a senior engineers. So our senior students, as their capstone project, actually designed this trail.
Okay.
And the trail is built along a water quality pond, which is on our horticulture department here. This is the College of Horticulture here that's hosting us here in this moment. But this water quality pond was here to capture just that, stormwater runoff, clean the water during a storm event,
Right.
and we sited a trail on it. We had senior engineers design it,
Right.
so we had a cost estimate, and then we went to a donor.
Okay.
And so all of this starts with an alumnus
Yeah.
that was interested in beautification.
Okay.
And we pitched, hey, this is a chance for thousands of students a day to ride and walk in your footsteps
Right.
as a legacy investment in this university.
Yeah.
And so that's really how this started. We used the funds as grant match,
Right.
and we went after two federal grants administered by the state of Colorado and the North Front Range Metropolitan Planning Organization. It took a number of years, and we actually, with inflation, had to ask our students through a student fee to help complete the project.
Okay.
So what they funded was the bridge, a trail that is, you can see, this is a wide trail.
Right.
We don't build 10-foot trails anymore, right?
Right,
In this
yeah.
community, we're building wider trails, right? This one is stretching to 14.
Yeah.
We have some 16s on campus just because of the number of people that are using it. We actually put some lighting on this too, right? We heard from the students they wanted lighting. This feeds right into resident halls.
Right.
So the trail not only provides permeability onto campus,
Right.
but it gives them a respite off campus, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A way to step away from the campus.
Yeah.
So that's really what the project entailed. It may not be the sexiest project, but when you're talking about permeability, this quarter mile now opens the campus up
Right.
to a whole new set of riders who now are induced to ride because
Yeah.
they don't have to use the arterial, which you can see off in the distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, faster vehicles, not the easiest place to navigate if you're not a confident cyclist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I totally disagree with you, Aaron. I think that this permeability is sexy.
All right, well, I'm surprised I haven't broken your camera yet. But,
No, this is fantastic, and it really is great to hear that story behind the funding challenges and how that you were able to put this together, and the fact that you were able to engage some of the senior engineers in this process as well. That's fantastic, and it also engenders a sense of engagement and ownership in that process too. And we've seen just a steady stream of students and also faculty and staff riding past us here, again re-emphasizing that this is a critical connector, and that's where that permeability is so important. Yeah.
So a couple other components before we move on. This is going to feed into an underpass, and I think we'll film that. There is a eco counter that's built into the wall of the underpass.
Okay.
So if there were any naysayers that this was a poor investment,
Yeah.
all we have to do is show them the number of people using that eco counter.
Right.
The city will also come out here next month and put trail counters on here because they also want to know.
Right.
What did this do? How did this
Right.
change, right? Obviously we've seen a steady stream of people riding along it.
Yeah.
So I think the key thing for universities is that if you don't work with your city or your county, you're really not doing your job.
Right.
You really need to foster this relationship. It's never easy, and sometimes it is bumpy.
Right.
But to ignore your city in your campus planning, especially when it comes to bicycle infrastructure, you're really not doing your job, because they opened the doors. They have been sponsors for grants that we have run. They actually own a little piece of this in the riparian corridor. They have a little pocket park right here.
Okay.
So you have to leverage these opportunities, because in our case, in some grants, we bring land value, right?
Right.
That the city can't bring.
Right.
But we can bring the land value of the property that the trail's going to go on.
Right.
And that can be used as match to open up, let's say it's a 20% match.
Right.
Well, if it's $1 million project, you're bringing in $800,000.
Yeah.
Because you had a property that was valued maybe at $200,000.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's huge, and it diversifies your funding.
Right.
So it's not just local tax dollars, right?
Yeah, it's not just local tax dollars. Before we roll to the next stop here, I did want to ask one kind of follow-up question. Is that so far we've really emphasized building out the infrastructure, and that's what I call the hardware activity assets. That's the things that we can put a pin in a map and say, hey, over here we've got a critical connector. It's permeability, it's a bridge, it's this pathway. It connects to a historic, older, legacy pathway that we've had in the city and connecting the campus for decades. That's the hardware activity assets. The software activity assets are those things that are, the programming and the initiatives. Really quickly, address how you bring the hardware activity assets to life. What are some of the things that you do to help encourage students, faculty, staff to leave their car at home and ride their bike or their skateboard or whatever?
Well, the first one is, again, knowing your audience, right? You want to pair your programming with what your audience can truly, in reality, accomplish, right?
Right.
So in the case I gave earlier, every year we map every student and every employee address. We don't go giving away where, who lives where.
Right.
But we look to see where concentrations of people live, right?
Yeah.
That helps us go and advocate for infrastructure.
Yeah.
But it also helps us target messaging.
Yeah.
Right? So we do a number of things. On the employee side, we have a program called Get Back on the Bike. It's for employees. They have a year-round training. We do lunch and learns, and we come out and do group rides on infrastructure, showing them safe routes to come to campus. This is obviously now one of them that we will show for people that live in the southwest corner of Fort Collins, southwest corner of Fort Collins. On the student side, the second they move in, we are hosting tours all week long.
Okay.
By college or first-gen students. We have a slew of tours that we will run, and we want them to know that they're not stuck on campus.
Right.
Again, permeability, right?
Yeah.
They want to know that they can get off campus to some respite, some place to exercise, recreate, mental stress relief, whatever it is. So we want to show them that early on before they kind of build up their own opinion about how the community is set up. So I think you're right. You have to pair the two together. Infrastructure, of course, is essential.
It's a prerequisite. Yeah.
But you have to do that extra work to train your campus users. But you got to know who you're working with.
Yeah.
And for us, we all know they're coming to one destination.
Right.
So that is huge.
Right.
Because then we can predict the paths they're going to take.
Yeah.
The routes they're going to take. We can sit down with them when they get hired as employees and go, hey, let's do a travel training for you.
Right.
Maybe this is a bus route you want to take, or maybe this is a bike route you want to take. Those are things we do the second an employee or student sets foot on campus.
Love it. Any financial incentives for faculty and staff to be able to ride a bike versus driving a car?
On the bike share side, we do have an incentive if you are university affiliated. So there's a reduced cost to, per minute. You can get a reduced cost there. There are some pieces like that, but for the most part, we have transit. We have free transit here in Fort Collins.
Free transit. Okay, so that's a nice incentive.
Those are kind of the bigger incentives that we have. We have an on-campus bike shop. We have a private on-campus bike shop.
Okay.
Where you can have work done. So
how about final question along these lines of financial incentives? Is parking a motor vehicle, a single occupancy motor vehicle, free for campus, or is it kind? You mentioned it earlier that supply is obviously always in demand and all of that. Is it free parking or is it paid parking on campus?
It's paid parking.
Okay, so there is an inherent sort of incentive because you're not having to pay for parking if you're deciding to use an active mode.
Yeah, I mean we're charging for parking to meet the cost to maintain all those parking lots, and certainly it does. Supply is certainly a huge motivator. In terms of someone making a decision, how do I want to access the campus? I think we found a pretty good balance here at CSU in terms of parking supply. I mean, on the student side, they make up somewhere between 30 to 40% of our commuters.
Right.
The rest, 60 to 70%, depending on the year, are people that are taking transit, walking or biking to class. So you really need to design, again, you got to know your audience, you got to know your users. On the employee side, it's flipped. We have strong biking numbers probably nationally for our employees. But we certainly think we could do better. So.
All right, cool. Let's keep rolling.
Good question.
All right.
So this is Femister Trail, and it is named after the donor's family.
Okay.
And we typically sign this using city signing.
Okay.
In combination with the university. So both of our bike wayfinding systems are used on this one.
Okay.
The city calls it the Center Bikeway through the community, and we call that segment Femister.
Okay.
So we're going to go through the underpass now that gets you under an arterial with about 24,000 daily trips. It's a common problem for universities, right? They've typically got arterials as they're bounding. The circumference of these campuses are typically arterials, which makes it really difficult from a permeability standpoint.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have a good relationship with the city or the state? One of our arterials is a state highway. To justify an underpass, justify a bikeway coming onto campus. And if the campus is saying no to that question, you're really limiting how people get here, because if they don't feel safe crossing an arterial, they're not going to do it.
Right, exactly.
They're not going to do it.
Yeah, and just like that, how seamless that was for us to get onto campus.
And we're on.
Yeah. Absolutely fabulous.
So city bikeway signage on campus.
Lovely.
We easily could have said no.
Right.
This is our left right here.
Okay.
Bike up. So we just shifted onto the mountain loop, which is half of a full loop around our main campus. We're riding on an alley that's been converted to a segment of the mountain loop.
Right.
And this was my second stop. I wanted to see if we could stop on this platform.
Yeah.
Here to the right. We're going to look at a series of permeability components for a campus where if you can convince the decision makers, your architect, your landscape architects, your campus planner, to leverage fire lanes, you can increase permeability quickly.
Right.
This is an old road. This was an old road on our campus. We converted it twice. We're going to see two segments of it. This first segment is, again, called the mountain loop. And here are some components of it. One, we separated the trails. So you have a bike dedicated corridor and a pedestrian dedicated corridor. We are very close to the campus core, and we need to separate the volume And the first thing we do in a lot of these fire lanes to make it accessible for through traffic is we separate trails. So that's the first piece. The second one is you'll see we have some breakaway bollards and they say fire access, right? You need to assure the fire department that they can get in here to serve a fire if it occurs.
Right.
So that bollard there can be hit by a fire truck or a police vehicle, our police, and it just folds down and it can be reset up. And a lot of campuses, they don't design these fire access like a trail. They design it like a road.
Right.
And then they're just encouraging campus users to park there.
Yeah, drive there and park there, yeah.
So you can see there's bikeway signage on this for the city of Fort Collins. So the city doesn't care that they're on campus. They just want to know, lead me safely through the university because I want to keep heading south.
Right.
Another thing you'll notice is that there's a landscaped buffer in between the two trails.
Right.
Why is that important? Well, you're going to see a couple examples of it. We are trying to collect stormwater again.
Right.
This campus is flooded. We're in a high desert scenario. You don't think about the desert flooding.
Right.
But this campus is flooded 6 times, and a lot of it is when it rains in Colorado, it runs really fast. It doesn't permeate.
Right.
We are trying to make more permeable solutions with our trails. It also makes it look a lot less attractive to drive on.
Right.
The last thing I wanted to point on is what we're standing on. This is for the fire department. This is a permeable surface. It's just pavers, right?
Right.
So what the fire truck can do is they can pull up here, park, and they can extend the arms of the fire truck out, set them onto here, and now they can fight fire from both sides. Who's the biggest user of this trail? Is it the fire department?
Yeah.
Is it someone driving a car, or is it our bicyclists and pedestrians, right?
Right.
It should look like a trail.
Right.
And for campuses across the country, if you can convince your planners and architects to do this, you have just made a permeable entrance or access through your campus.
Yeah.
So we'll go ride a little bit farther. We'll go to another one, and we'll just kind of look at some different strategies we've deployed depending on the location that we're at.
I love it. I love too that...
Is this working?
This is fantastic.
Okay.
And I love that we have a double entendre on permeability here. So we have permeability through the campus, and then we also have permeability of our pavers that we're standing on, and we're able to help encourage that stormwater management and create more of a sponge approach. We were talking earlier about how it's kind of heating up, and we've got pretty high UV index here. The other nice thing is having all these natural elements is you sort of decrease that heat island effect, and you have a little bit of a cooling aspect. Good stuff.
At the university, we know how much hardscape versus greenscape versus buildings, and we have that as a percentage, and we track it. Of course, you can't see the mountains behind me at this moment, but the middle of campus, you have a view to the mountains.
Right.
We will never give that up.
Right.
These are things campuses look at for sure.
Yeah.
One last thing, there's a little bit of, this is the first art in public places project in the city of Fort Collins.
Oh, fabulous.
Yay. We're next to the chemistry department, so it has some chemical related piece. So.
It looks like that.
Well, let's go ride through. We're gonna ride through a bike roundabout. We're gonna cross the city of Fort Collins, Pitkin Bikeway.
Yeah.
And then we'll stop again, probably about a quarter mile.
All right. And it's such a beautiful time of year too, to be riding on a college campus here in the fall. And during class change time, this is a very busy little intersection.
It is.
It's a little chill at the moment, but on class changes, I think last year we caught some footage of that just absolutely hopping.
Oh yeah. Fridays are a little less crowded.
Yeah, a little less intense.
But I think we'll probably hit a class change here.
Yeah.
So let's pull over here one more time because I think this is another good spot to talk about it. So yeah, let's just stop here and I'll talk about a couple more pieces. So we're still on the mountain loop. And again, the mountain loop just provides a full loop around what is a pedestrian mall for the campus. So we have an area that's, for the most part, bike free, and it's surrounded by a loop that gets the community and everybody else through it. So again, we're on a fire lane. We just rode a separated trail. This one is a little more mature in the vegetation. If you look, you can see that everything is landscaped towards the median, the rain garden in the middle, right?
Right,
to collect that water. This was an old road as well. This is a resident hall, Braden. Now it has a pedestrian outdoor seating area where there used to be parking, mature trees, and then, of course, I think probably the nicest separated trail for us here on campus between the bike side and the ped side. You can see this little area here where it gets constrained. We had to use thermoplastic to delineate the separation before it opens back up to the north where we bring the landscaping back in and the rain garden.
Right.
Other things you can do are signage, right? So a couple signs that you'll see along our trail. We have signs that tell pedestrians and bikes to separate.
Got it.
Right?
Right.
So that should tell anybody who mistakenly drives a car up here.
Right.
Like, they made a mistake.
Yeah.
Do not come up here.
Yeah.
Like, we're telling them as clearly as we can, here are the only users of this section of trail.
Right.
Can fire and PD get on here? Yes, those vehicles can get on here when they need to. It's very infrequent though, right?
Correct.
So why not design it for the primary user? If you can get your campus over the hump, where they're not just putting in an old road here.
Right.
Instead, you're leveraging available land. You're helping support the fire suppression needs of the campus. There are usually requirements from your city.
Yeah.
And then you're building permeability, because we are literally right at the core of campus here right now.
Yeah.
And without this, our students would have had, if they wanted to ride a bike, they would have had to ride way out to the west or way out to the east.
Yeah.
That's not real fun.
Yeah.
We have loaded this whole area along this trail up with bike racks. We've made it as simple as possible to navigate the campus, park at your destination, or ride through.
Right.
So I thought we would travel next down another trail that does separate. It's not a fire lane. And we would look at a resident hall that's leveraged a fire lane, 2 resident halls that have leveraged fire lanes for access.
Yeah, I love that. I also love that you had mentioned this little plaza area where we see folks that are, gathering underneath the shade there, and that the fact that used to be, parking. And again, I like to emphasize that what we're talking about here is, creating mobility options and creating a more livable environment for everybody. And no, this isn't a war on cars. I mean, if we scan around over here to the right, we see that there is, ample quote unquote motor vehicle car parking, here on this side of, the resident hall in the building here. So I think it's a great example of, this doesn't need to become a cultural war issue. I mean, we're trying to find something that works well for everybody and creates that environment that we're looking to do, which really encourages people to feel like it's safe and inviting for everybody, all ages and abilities.
Data is so important, right? This was an old road. It probably had maybe 100, maybe 200 trips a day to access an old parking lot to the resident hall.
Yeah.
We have a bike counter that's on the trail. We're getting thousands of bike trips a day. That's your justification.
Yeah.
It's like, who's the primary user?
Right.
How do you serve them? And how do you design it for them?
Yeah.
It's sometimes for campuses getting started.
Yeah.
It's chicken and egg.
Right.
But hopefully through this discussion today, you'll see if you can get over the hump, get this first piece of infrastructure in,
Yeah.
show that it gets used, and then replicate it using fire lanes, underpasses, and city bikeways.
Fantastic.
All
All
right.
right, let's roll to the next location.
Okay. CSU is kind of a unique campus in that it was an agricultural campus to start, so the bulk of the campus was agricultural fields.
Mm-hmm.
And World War II ends, and the GI Bill sees a huge spike in student enrollment, and they don't have enough housing.
Right, right.
So the campus built really to the east are all the academic buildings.
Yeah,
And to the west is all the student housing.
yeah,
So our students, just by the nature of the campus design, have to get up in the morning and bike or walk,
right.
right? It's just part of their day, and it was part of the campus planning at the time.
Yeah,
You can still see we've preserved, a 40-acre park in the middle of the campus.
right.
That's a big step,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Not every campus is willing to do that. We want to protect the view to the, to the west, and, we've done that.
yeah.
So we got trails. You can see this trail's along a road. So it gets you out of the street. Landscape median again. So.
Robots delivering Grubhub.
Robots, game day tents, everything. So we'll turn left here real quick and then just stop real quick at this one. It's got some unique pieces to it. Okay, so we're at a resident hall now. This is Academic Village. A lot of universities are going to this model of having resident halls that are villages by college department. So instead of having a mix of students, you'll kind of hang out with your cohort
Right.
that first year. This is another fire lane. And so you can see clearly marked, fire access only. Someone could drive up this, cross this trail and drive, well, watch out for the robot.
Yeah, watch out for the robot.
They could, this car in theory could drive up here, but they're not gonna,
Yeah.
right? Fire access only. We've marked it in thermoplastic in the trail to say that it's for bikes and pedestrians. And it takes you right into the heart of the dining center and resident hall. Intercept bike racks, right? So we have just totally transformed it. And then we have incredible landscape architects. You can see this area has been here a little while. Mature vegetation, but this trail's here for one reason, and it's because it provides a fire lane access, right? So
Right.
we committed to the fire department, they can get in here,
Right.
but made it look like a trail. And that's I think a huge opportunity for campuses across the country, right? And maybe it's putting it into their design standards,
Mm-hmm.
construction design standards. Sometimes universities have aesthetic guidelines that landscape architects put in or create. Maybe it's complete streets.
Right.
We just adopted our own version of complete streets here at CSU, where we're basically telling people on each side of the building, when they build a new building, here's what we expect if you put a trail or a road
Right.
or a transit stop. You have to make this a complete street project. So nothing really else to show other than these opportunities now provide seamless connection. This trail here actually runs the full length north and south through campus, and we piece together 2 fire lanes and a cut through trail through our 40-acre park here in the core campus.
Fantastic. Speak a little bit to the history of the university, and it's obviously a platinum level university campus from the League of American Bicyclists, which basically means it's one of the best nationally. in terms of bicycle friendliness and creating that environment that really encourages and welcomes active mobility for all ages and abilities. Yep. Talk a little bit about that history. How did this evolve? I mean, was this, I'm assuming it wasn't part of the original founding documents of the land grant college. So, what was that journey been like over these decades?
Well, historically, one of the first things I did when I got here was go through the photo archives. Mm-hmm. And every university has them. Mm-hmm. And there's someone in a room down in the basement of the library that's waiting to be tasked with find me every picture of someone riding a bicycle, either in the school newspapers or whatever it was they were taking photos of. Wow, we found pictures going back to the 20s. Where our state highway now that's on the east side of campus had, one of my favorite pictures is a line of cars parked on the state highway, which you can't imagine today. And there's probably a 12-year-old looking up at this person who has got this old camera, taking this picture, looking down this old dirt road. It's sweet. So it is part of the culture. Mm-hmm. It never left. I think the 50s and 60s, you saw a real surge when the campus grew, that a bike was practical to get from this resident hall side of campus to the academic side of the campus. So I think you saw a lot of that. I think the last piece, or how I got involved, was that the campus was, again, trying to address, do we build more parking? Or do we build another building for academics that brings in jobs, that brings in new students? These are decisions every campus has to make. And so they were concerned about this topic we're talking about today, permeability. We don't feel like the campus is permeable enough to deal with the volumes of bikes and transit. Transit, if you don't allow transit into the core of your campus, you're pushing people half-mile away to some stop off campus. They're not going to use it. What do people want? They want to be dropped off close to where they work or where they go to school. And so we've achieved a lot of that. The Bike Platinum designation really came in the last 15 years, and it was organic, right? There were some amazing people here that wanted to make sure that this was a safe place to bicycle. I mean, that's really what it was. And they were just in different departments. I credit all of those people before me for the job that I have today and the amazing team that we've been able to hire. But all that's been in the last, 10 to 12 years that we've even had a team dedicated to TDM.
And I think that's a really good point to bring up. And the reason why I asked that, it was a little bit of a leading question, is I want to make this be inspirational for other campuses worldwide, is that yes, you can make that transformation. You can do some little tweaks, get creative, take some fire lanes and convert them to active mobility. And yes, they can still be used as fire lanes, and be able to really reinforce that active mobility can be a part of the DNA of the campus. It isn't written in stone. It wasn't on a founding document or tablet, but it can be embraced and improved upon. The other thing I want to mention, since we do have the tents here in the backdrop here, we're in North America. We are in the land of American football, and I know that this pathway probably makes its way over towards the stadium. Let's roll that direction and have you talk a little bit about that part of the permeability too, because it can deliver people to game day too.
Sure, all right, let's go that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we take fans through a resident hall right to the campus stadium. It's this trail is accessible from the north and south boundaries of the campus, which are both arterials. And on a trail, you can literally, on game day, you can walk right up to the stadium. On game days, we shut down this road. This is actually the city of Fort Collins Pitkin Bikeway. So this bikeway runs, I think it's 6 miles through the community. Every time it crosses an arterial, the city has the city's gone and made sure that on a bikeway, if we put the bikeway signage up, that you're going to have a safe arterial crossing. Well, Once you get onto campus, this road has buffered bike lanes through most of it. We have a couple tabled crossings that we've invested in on this corridor to deal with some of the north-south traffic. There's a development you see off to the south of the stadium, which is a private development. We have an easement for that development. They've extended the trail onto private development.
Okay.
And the city now is going after a mid-block crossing that they have a grant for that actually gets you back down to the Spring Creek Trail.
Yeah.
So again,
More
permeability.
permeability.
More
yeah.
permeability, right?
Yeah.
If you can't get onto campus, you can't take part in what's, for us, a brand new stadium.
Right. Yeah. Fantastic. Do you know what the capacity of the stadium is?
Yeah, it's 39,000 seated, and then it's 43,000 with standing. New Belgium here, one of our big employers. They have sponsored the north end of the stadium, so they actually have a bar that runs the length of the north end of the stadium, and they have their classic cruiser bikes that hang from the back of the bar.
I love it.
So as you ride the pick and bikeway every day in the class,
Yeah.
look over to your right, you can see right into the stadium,
Yeah.
and you can see the New Belgium bike,
Yeah.
paraphernalia.
Yeah. A little bit of the Fort Collins culture there with.
Yeah, it's
with,
amazing. It's a great
New
place to
Belgium.
watch the game too, by the way.
Yeah. And that's the reason I wanted to emphasize this too, is that a lot of places are aspiring to do two things. They want to be able to welcome the public in, for these major events, and they feel like, oh my gosh, how are we going to be able to create enough of a sea of parking to be able to accommodate the tens of thousands of people. And you just can't do that. Otherwise, that's the only thing that you have around your area. And so this ability to ride to the doorstep, to be able to lock your bike up and attend the event is just absolutely crucial. And again, this is not a war on cars. There's plenty of parking still available in the area, but not enough. So there's an incentive to be able to use active mobility and public transit.
One thing I think we've learned is having intercept bike corrals. So we have areas of campus where you see a large collection of corrals on this street, actually, this pick and bikeway.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday seem kind of odd.
Right.
And then all of a sudden on game day,
Yeah.
it's where people,
chock full.
Yeah, it's chock full because
Yeah.
it's the northeast corner of the stadium.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's stadiums are LEED certified too, right? You can get LEED certification. So
Right.
like they're looking to see how many rack spaces you put in
Right.
as part of your LEED certification credits.
Right.
So there are different ways you can engage with your athletic department on the design of a facility.
Right.
We just, once in a multi-generation opportunity to build a stadium on campus. I mean,
Right.
I did have a chance to be a part of that. And
Yeah.
it was preserving these corridors, right?
You're right.
To make sure that it wasn't just cars only, right?
Right,
So
right.
that's important.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see behind me, these are kind of runaway truck barriers. So like the perimeter of campus is kind of set up on game day, so that this is a pedestrian experience
Right.
that's safe without the concern of somebody coming through. So that's what this bicycle
That's
just
what that
rode over.
barrier, yeah.
They'll pop that up
Yeah.
on a game day.
Yeah.
But they set them up the day before. Game's
Love it.
tomorrow for viewers wondering when the game is.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Our campus housing is dedicated to the west side, like we talked about earlier. It also has a north and a south, kind of wings, where in between the housing is this park. And you can see as we're riding up to it, we've got a tabled crossing that takes us over the primary route into the core campus for vehicles. That was funded by our students.
Okay.
We're unique in that our students have a dedicated transportation fee that they collect to award transportation infrastructure projects on campus.
Okay.
So they're taking control of the campus instead of the campus telling them
Right.
what they want to invest in, right?
Okay.
So they've invested in tabled crossings, trails, covered bike racks, Transit, they've matched transit grants to cover every transit stop on campus. So for campuses that are, we're going to turn left here. For campuses that are concerned in some way about, how do you fund this stuff?
Yeah.
The students have been invaluable. They raise about $300,000 a year. We're going to turn right. They raise about $300,000 a year, and they have a competitive application that they administer.
Yeah.
And they have a board from every college and student government that convenes every Monday night for an hour.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I don't know what you did in college, but I can tell you, I wasn't sitting on a board on Monday nights.
Yeah.
And so it just speaks to the dedication and culture of the campus, I think.
Yeah.
So we're going to turn left right here.
What's interesting too about that concept is that you're also creating a student body
Across the road.
that is a little bit more informed about these issues of mobility and active mobility.
Yep. Yeah,
Because they're engaged in that process and they're funding it.
we're going to turn right here, and then we're gonna hop off and show you one more fire lane. And I think this will speak to the point you're making.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another fire lane, and this is another village. This is Laurel Village. We're going to stop at our student bike shop,
Okay.
which is in Lead Platinum Building, right here on our right.
Fantastic.
So let's stop here for a second. Talk about this one a little bit.
Yeah.
So
We'll have this the spoke in the backdrop here.
Yeah, sure. So, couple things. Again, we're on a fire lane that connects to so the arterial is right here. So we've, on this bike ride this morning, we've literally gone from the south edge of campus to the north edge of campus, basically using fire lanes to do it. So this is the paired fire lane from the stadium where we were, the south housing. This is a north housing complex. And in that housing complex, we have the student bike shop. So the student bike shop is student fee funded. They register bikes here. The students get free maintenance if they'll do the maintenance themselves. And they have student technicians who will work with them and guide them through the repair. Why do we do that? Well, we want them to take pride in their bike. And we believe if they work on their own bike and learn how to repair it, that they'll take more pride in it, they won't abandon it, they'll use it more often. So we have somewhere between 6 to 8 students. They have this brick and mortar shop here in the pavilion, again, which is a Lead Platinum building. And they also have a portable bike shop, and they will put a sign out every morning where they're going to be, what time they're going to be there, and then students can come up and get simple maintenance done on their bike. Again, they can do it themselves, or work with the student technician to help fix that. So no coincidence, this is situated on another fire lane to provide access. So again, city street into the fire lane, landscaped, intercept bicycle racks, and then access piecing these together to make a trail that didn't exist. So you asked a little bit about what's this history of Bike Platinum. I think the big first thing that we did was we did a bike plan with the city of Fort Collins. So we did ours for the first time, and we leveraged an RFP that they had issued. So we hired the same consultant and said, look, we want to make the campus more permeable. And one of the first things we did is we identified these corridors that we could potentially piece together. The second thing we did is we gave them names. We didn't have these trails. We had an aspiration, and we gave those trails names. That made it real for the campus, and it made it harder for the campus planners, to build on top of them. We're going to take this away. Well, you can't. You actually need to complement it, and that's really what you're seeing here, is that bike trail complemented through a student housing facility that now guides these students every morning straight into class.
Right.
Without having to worry. I mean, you don't see a car around us. Right? So low stress, all because there was the need to have fire suppression here during an event.
Yeah.
This does not look like your traditional fire lane.
Yeah.
But every campus can do it.
Yeah. Love it. This is so brilliant. And yeah, you're right. I mean, we heard a few motor vehicles traveling on that arterial there, and you could hear the cars in the distance, but they were not so loud and obnoxious as they would be if, you know, it was those cars were traveling right through the middle of campus. So it makes a huge impact on enhancing quality of life for the students, for the faculty, for the staff on campus. Yeah.
We talked a little about water again. This one doesn't have the landscape median down the middle. It actually has it on the perimeter, right? So all of these are collecting water for mostly xeric plants. Again, we're high desert. Almost all of this is xeric, and again, our incredible landscape architects, you know, have brought this to fruition and paired it with a trail, right? So anything we can do to make it look less like a roadway and still serve fire is really what you're trying to accomplish. And I think this is one of the prettier areas. You can see they got a lot of ephedra growing. It's a high desert plant, ephedra, right? But yeah, all of this collects water. Same with the bike racks. The bike racks are all on either pavers or permeable, fully permeable surfaces. Things you think about, but maybe as an afterthought. If you put it to the forefront in your planning, it makes it a whole lot easier to defend the decision to make this a bike trail.
Love it. All right. Let's keep rolling.
So we'll turn right here. This is Laurel. This is the north edge of campus. It's currently under city planning effort to kind of redesign the road with probably paint and post. We're about to ride through a rapidly flashing beacon. Again, permeability. How do you cross the arterial? Can you assure your campus users that I know there's a way to stop traffic? Right? Versus, am I gonna have to play Frogger to get over this street, to get into this, what we hope they believe is a really safe place.
In the city of Fort Collins, you know, some of these residential streets are interestingly and curiously wide. And it makes more sense when you go back and you dig into some of those historical photos and you're like, oh yeah, they had streetcar lines through a lot of the old historic neighborhoods.
Yeah, we had a number of streetcar lines, including the east side of campus, which is the state highway. It had a streetcar line. And then the other piece that's sometimes urban myth, sometimes reality is they'll say that they used to be able to turn a horse and buggy 180 degrees.
Right.
And so they designed their streets to turn that around. I still think there might be a little urban myth to that, but...
That definitely was something that was in place in Salt Lake City. When they did the Zion Plat in Salt Lake City, they did really ultra wide roads so that they could do the big oxen team with the cart could do a U-turn. So it could have been that the urban myth was adopted by or adapted by the fact that that's one of the things that they did do.
Yeah, the city wants to take these offset bike lanes out. To get rid of these slip lanes.
Yeah, the right turn lanes. In time,
but this is their street, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is their street, and you know, without a partnership with them, like the biggest barrier is really something that the city owns, right?
Right. Yeah.
So there has to be some effort to collaborate.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
All right, we're gonna turn up here. We're gonna take a right. We're gonna go into the historic part of the campus, which is the Oval. So you'll see the trees get really mature. And it's a low stress street, share condition, which is gonna lead us to another fire lane.
And you just notice how quickly the stress level comes down.
The stress level comes way down.
You get away from that 4-lane arterial. You've got these mature trees like you'd talked about. Speed limit of 20 miles per hour. And it's a nice, comfortable space.
Even in this share condition, it's...
Yeah, when you don't have the volume and you don't have
the
the speed.
volume, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so we're gonna go down here and take a quick right. This is a parking protected contraflow bike lane right here.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna feed into this last fire lane we're gonna show today.
And I notice on the Shero and Sembla, thermoplast that we have here, we have a ram riding a bike. What's that all about?
Well, it's something we've been doing for about 15 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna go this way, kitty corner.
For those that don't know, you are the Colorado State Rams.
We are the Rams, so
Yeah.
our bike symbols have it. So
yeah.
we're gonna pull over here on the left and talk about this last fire lane. So we are at the CSU Nutrient building, ag sciences related building here on campus. As you can see behind me, we have another fire lane, which is a separated trail. It has the median. The median collects water, same as always, xeric plants on the core. Behind you is another retention facility, again, native landscaping. But what I wanted to show you were these bollards. The bollards, and the sign that you can't see that's paired with it that says fire lane. The bollards delineate where the concrete isn't as thick.
Okay.
Why is that important? Well, one, concrete's expensive.
Right.
So why did we do that? Well, we did it because the fire trucks wanted to serve this building. So we set it up in a way where they could come this far in, service the two buildings on both sides, and then back out. If they're gonna serve the buildings to the south, their route is actually to come in a different way.
Okay.
So here we've put those bollards in, really they're not for the fire department, they're to tell cars,
Yeah, don't come through here.
don't come in here.
Yeah.
And then we created this place, which is through a park that currently has a building under construction.
Right.
It's totally transformed this place, and you can see how the building tries to complement their outside meeting space with the trail that's here, right?
Yeah.
This was a goat trail about 6 years ago, right? This was a path where students were telling us they wanted to ride, but they couldn't because it was just a grass plaza, and they were telling us they didn't want to ride all the way out there, right? They wanted to ride through the campus. So through our bike master planning, this was one piece of about 5 segments that we built to build the Prairie Loop, which is the other half of the loop around the campus. We have built 90% of it, and we're going to build the last segment just to the north next summer.
Fantastic.
But again, this is a fire lane.
Yeah.
This is not here for any other reason other than a fire lane.
Right.
And if it looked like a road, it would have acted like a road.
Right.
And we would have had people driving on it to try to connect through and Now you can see it, it's got people in both modes, pedestrian, biking, skateboarding, using it as a conveyance, which for me is about the best sign of permeability that you can get, right? That they feel comfortable going through here, and there's really not a lot of stress, so it induces you, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it makes it such a pleasant way of, getting from place to place, getting through campus, getting to your next destination, your next class, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
From a complete street standpoint, we had this building, pay for some of this trail. Mm-hmm. Our students paid for some of this trail. Right. We found creative ways to fund, much like that Femister trail we saw at the beginning, found creative ways to fund this. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't a grant on this project. This was just working together with campus partners to make it happen as part of a complete streets requirement of the building. The north side of their building has a transit stop, a covered transit stop, and that was another complete streets component. So,
love it. This is fantastic.
Well, I thought we'd finish our trip over to the University Center for the Arts, the Trial Gardens. We'll show you the underpass and other kind of component of permeability, and then we'll
wrap it up there.
Wrap it up.
All right, cool. And you're right, we were able to hit a class change.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Friday it's not as full, but
still that was nice.
enough.
It was right on cue as we were talking about it, and that permeability, and all of a sudden those classes let up, and
this trail's a miracle for me. It's, we convinced this building when it built to let us go through the parking lot.
Yeah.
And so we created this, it's almost like a bike guideway.
Yeah.
So that, we don't like running through parking lots if we don't have to. And
right.
And then the students have paid for a student, a crossing of this street right here. This is back to the pick and bikeway again.
Right.
We will have a tabled crossing here.
Okay.
And then guess what? Another fire lane.
Yeah. Another fire lane.
Exquisitely landscaped.
Yeah. Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And again, that stormwater runoff management system, the Rain Garden S approach to this.
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely brilliant.
All right. So we are going to navigate a couple little parking lot stretches to get to the UCA. Okay. We're going to make a left here. And we're going to go out to the arterial. Another left. This project ahead of us is more private student housing.
Okay.
And guess where they want to be? Right on campus.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is actually a city-owned street. It's the only city-owned street on campus. We used to have parking on it, took it off when the stadium was built. And now it's got these massive buffered bike lanes on it. And we're looking at, we have an SS4A grant right now to study how to make the street safer, and probably some sort of paint and post mid-block crossing project, probably. We are going to turn left. This might take a second. There we go. This is the Mason Trail again. This is where we started this morning. We're going to take a right here where you can see the campus wayfinding. It's a pretty tight right. This is one of the rare spots where we have someone coming through a parking lot. Rare. But you'll see why in a second. This is a 180 turn here, so we get to see your skills with that camera.
Yeah,
here.
no, this will be good.
All right.
A good test.
Here we go.
All right, let's do it. Woo! We can do it. We have the technology.
That is talent.
Woo-hoo. Good stuff. We have been delivered to the beauty.
We are at the University Center for the Arts, and this is the perennial garden, the annual gardens of the university. We have annual and perennial gardens, so they have seed developers from across the country that work with the university. And well, you can see behind me, this is one of the most visited places in Fort Collins because of its beauty. And even here at the end of September, you can still see honeybees flying around. And of course, we got here through an underpass, and it's the second underpass of the day. We went under a state highway that runs the entire length of the community called 287. You wouldn't have known that we even went under an underpass, and there was a road with that much traffic on it. Yeah. So for us, again, vital access. Right. The state highway is a huge barrier to safe access on the campus. So our ability to work with the city and the state, actually we leveraged a moment where the state was doing some resurfacing work to put this underpass in really quickly. This is one of the fastest underpasses you've ever seen on a 6-lane highway that cuts through the middle of our community. So it's a gem, and then it takes you it's the old Fort Collins High School that the university purchased, and it's now the University Center for the Arts. And the bike trail terminates right there at the old high school. So
absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Aaron, this has been such a joy catching up with you here today. Any final words for the audience?
No, I'm glad we had to talk about permeability. It's one that, my wife tells me that people really don't want to talk transportation with me. Yeah. So I'm really taking this opportunity to talk about permeability because I know your audience wants to talk transportation.
Yeah, we think that permeability is sexy here on the Active Towns channel.
Yeah,
so,
well,
yeah.
You'll have to tell my wife because she does not think it's sexy whatsoever. So, thanks so much.
Yes, thank you, Aaron. I really do appreciate it. And folks, if you've enjoyed this, please be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already done. Yeah, hit like, hit subscribe. And until next time, this is John signing off by wishing you much activity, health, and happiness. Cheers.
And I just want to also say thank you all so much to all my Active Towns ambassadors supporting the channel financially via YouTube Super Thanks, YouTube memberships, Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, and making donations to the nonprofit. Again, I simply could not produce this content without your support. Thank you all so very much.